Hello, and welcome to another edition of Good Deeds. It is brought to you by justserve.org. If you're looking for organizations to connect with, get involved with, volunteer your time to help make Sacramento a better community, well, justserve.org has a great listing where you can find out more about ongoing projects and organizations that you may want to get involved with. Justserve.org is a wonderful place to start. Today, we are going to learn more about All About Hope. Cindy Costa is with us today to talk about the project, which I think is a great way to bring hope and help kids that are going through the fight of their lives. Can you tell us more about what All About Hope does and who you help?
Okay, so All About Hope, we help hospitalized children and their families by providing hope boxes that are filled with art supplies and project ideas so that kids can do bedside activities while they're in the hospital. And so the local area that we serve the Sacramento hospitals, the Roseville hospitals. We serve also in Stanford Children's and UC San Fran, and we also have Idaho location, a New Mexico location, and a Florida location of where we are delivering and dropping off hope boxes to kids that are in the hospital.
That is a lot of people that are being helped. Did it
Yeah.
start here in Sacramento, or where did you start?
It did. It started right here. It started right here at Sutter Hospital. My daughter was in the hospital when she was younger, and I started volunteering at the hospital. And about 9 years ago, I was volunteering at Sutter Hospital, and I was doing arts and crafts with the kids. And I saw the impact that art made. That it brought hope, it brought healing, it brought families back together. I saw children that were fighting courageous battles and big battles, and when we would bring in an art project, it would put a smile on their face. And for the first time, some kids were smiling when they hadn't smiled in days. And so I saw what the power of art does. And so I put together these boxes, and we launched in 2016. And Sutter Sacramento Children's Hospital was our first hospital that we launched.
I love it. What goes into these hope boxes?
So we only put Crayola products. So we put construction paper, journals, canvases so they can paint, Crayola paints, Crayola markers, Crayola pencils and crayons and scissors and pencil sharpeners, which is the kids' favorite item. Paper sacks so that they can make puppets. And we also have a Courageously Me journal where it's an interactive kids journal where we're trying to pull out as much information from a child that we can, because the reality is that some kids don't make it home, and we want to give their families something special that they will always be able to remember their child by. We realize that this may be the last art project that a child ever does, and so we make sure that we give them the best tools that we can for their box.
Love that. There is a real power too, in the creative mind and the art mind connection. There's power there, but there's also a real healing power in journaling. So I love that you're including the journals, and what a way for families to be able to connect with their patient and what they're really going through and what they're really feeling.
It also helps the hospital staff connect with the child too. As a child is coloring, they're in an unfamiliar environment. And as they're coloring their family, their picture, their dogs, it allows the hospital staff to connect with the child and the family as well. So it helps the staff, it helps the kids, it helps the family, and it just brings hope all around to everyone.
Love it. Well, how can we as a community best support you? How can we get involved?
There are so many ways. You can host a sponsored packing party where you can actually sponsor children and pack the boxes, which is one of our favorite things. We love our volunteers to be able to touch, fill, and help pack the boxes. Also, product drives. We always need Crayola supplies and volunteering. We do art events at the Ronald McDonald House, and so we have different events that we serve. So we're always looking for volunteers and someone just to get involved and help us out.
I imagine a good way for people to get in touch with you and find out more about volunteering or sign up would be through your website.
Yes, allabouthope.net.
Anything else you want people to know about the work you're doing with All About Hope?
I think that this, like I said, this may be a child's last art project, and that's why it's so important to partner with us and sponsor with us to bring as much hope as we can to these kids that are fighting these battles in the hospital. So I thank our volunteers. I thank all of the sponsors that work with us to help us make it possible. Because without them, we would not be able to do what we do.
Well, that's something our world definitely needs a lot more of is hope. Thank you for bringing that to these kids and families. And thank you for taking some time to tell us about it on Good Deeds.
Thank you. Thank you for this opportunity.